All right, back on it. We got some pretty bad damage here. We're getting the floor pans removed. 84 cj7 Jeep. Get these bumpers freshened up as far as the mounting hardware. We get all this underneath cleaned up. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and do floor pans first. First thing you want to start off is removing the driver's seat. And there we go. Anyway, long story short, they're toast. Full of rust. Bad. We're going to go ahead and cut everything completely out. We've got the new 4-piece floor pan set. Kind of prefer a 2 or a single that all comes out at once, but a little easier to get these pieces out. Some of these brackets, let me get down on the ground here. This stuff right here, it actually, the floor pan sits on this bracket right here. So in removing it, I don't know if you can see it too well, small spot welds. All that will come out. And yeah, I'll go ahead and pause this. And we'll keep going on this. I'll get you some more footage in a minute. Alright, we're back on our Jeep here. And yeah, got a lot of the rear quarter floor pan cut out anyway. A lot of this I'm going to take and grind down, get all that rust out of it. Fold as straight as possible in all the areas, because yeah, it's kind of brutal getting it out. You got to bend it. But also, something that didn't come with the floor pans, this section right here has got to go. But I do have some flat metal and I'm pretty good with it, I guess, so I might as well give it a run. Aside that, easiest way to get these dang things out, you'll see little spots like this on the metal. Some of them are actually hidden pretty good. Little spots like that, and that's all these little holes where the factory tack weld to the subframe, whatever you want to call it, is on there from the factory. A lot of this, like I said, we'll just get it out first, and we'll focus on some other stuff like that side, missing sections. This obviously has an issue too, and all that rust has got to go for this to be done right. Long story short, I better get my monkey butt back to work, and we'll go from there. I'll keep the video rolling, and step by step, a little bit at a time, you'll magic come to life. I don't know how much more that's going to be. Alright, back at it. We just got our floorboards cut out. We're going to go ahead and clean up all them little edges. Make sure everything's straight. We got a couple patches of metal we're going to have to put in. I want to get the rest of this rust out of here. Not going to be fun. What it takes, let me back that up. There we go. As you can see, we're going to go up a hair higher on this. It just makes it a little easier to bring it out in pieces. And then I can kind of blend the metal in. This one's kind of an odd one for floor pans. Most cars don't have this many curves and whatnot. This thing's got a lot of brackets for bracing underneath as well. So there's the story of my life. I'm going to pause this, and yeah, once we get more footage going, I'll go ahead and resume. Alright, back at it once again. We got this side. A lot of the times I'll lay these on from the bottom. In this case, this one was really tricky to do. Anyway, these aftermarket floor pans never exactly fit. So I trimmed that. I trimmed edges. All of this. Because it rolls out to a flat edge, which of course won't weld up unless it lays on top. Long story short, yeah, this actually came like this. So I had to cut it back from previously, trying to another person trying to fit it. Anyway, we welded everything all the way around, then we hit it with a sand, and I try to use a air sander, die grinder, stuff like that. Try to get a rounded edge so it looks factory. I'm going to try to go along the bottom and do the same. We got to patch up some spots that were all full of cancer, fully eaten up, and yeah, a lot of this we're going to have to clean up with a grinder or whatnot. But also, I got to play with the outer edge. It isn't perfectly flat, so we're going to work with that before I weld this side. There's a quick example, 4-piece floor pan. Not the easiest in the world, and yeah, that would have been one hell of a tight fit getting the top all the way up in there. Like I said, so a lot of times I do lay them on from the bottom. In this case, this one was a lot better to go from the top. Had a lot more to weld, a lot better line up, the whole nine. Until next time, same bat channel, same Batmobile. Alright, once again back at it. Just completed putting in our floor pans. 84 cj7. I got a lot of mending up to do, just touching up. Grind down our edges smooth, so once we get some rhino line over it, it's actually going to look factory, unless you really look for it. But, yeah, all these edges right here, if you can flush them up all the way around everything, honestly, it's going to take a lot of elbow grease. Especially up there in the corners ain't the easiest, and you can't weld too much to the outer sides because it'll really screw up and warp things. So we're going to kind of leave that alone, maybe hit it with a good Vulcan seal. We got 2 patches, one there and one there. They were totally cancered out. But other than that, yeah, all of our seat bolt mounts lined back up. Seat belts. Don't know exactly what everything is, but some of the story, this is what we turned out with. Not too shabby. Alright, back at our project. Here we go. Anyway, cancered out through here and on the other side. Probably, I'm guessing, from the back side of the tire, throwing stuff at the back side. Long story short, we put in some patch panels, well, homemade ones, flat metal. But yeah, it turned out all right. It's all getting a rhino line over it, so any little small imperfections will be hidden. We smoothed out some corners and whatnot. Made it look flat as possible anyway. Looked pretty good. Next step, we're going to get some, I'm going to do a little bit more welding through here. Maybe just a couple more tacks. But I don't want to warp the outer edge here, so I'm going to go ahead and just use a Vulcan seal, which is a really strong silicone. Amazing stuff, honestly. And we're going to patch in the corners. Strip off all this old existing rhino line. And scuff it up good with some 36 grit sandpaper. We want nice gouges for it to stick to. And yeah, respray all the way from the back tailgate to up under the firewall here. And we'll go ahead and pause this, get some more footage. I'll keep you guys going. Alright, back at our project. We got a pretty thick case of rhino line. You can see didn't bond to this. You want to scuff the hell out of this metal, get some good little grooves and scratches. Everything will make it stick a lot better. You put it on. We're going to be doing it from front to back. And yeah, here goes the next step. I got my little blade set up. And what this does is kind of just tears through the stuff. Try to avoid hitting bolts directly. And yeah, that's about it, man. Tear it up. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. I'll get it going in a second. Now we got some more of this off, and before we run our line as well. All right, once again, unpause, live and in action. Anyway, but our last step to redoing all our floors here. We're gonna go ahead and use a bunch of new sealant in these edges. I prefer the stuff that I really like. It's called Vulcan Seal. Lasts a heck of a long time. Good stuff. We're gonna run it on every edge here. We got to beat or tack every 6 inches on the outer side. Anything in the middle on the edges or anywhere in or anything to do with this on the edges, yeah. Gonna seal it up with that Vulcan Seal. I'll cut in here a little deeper though. Like I said, this rust has got to go. Hopefully I don't have to cut that out, but I think I can pull that off. Probably from a previous roll cage or something. This stuff too, got to go. We'll get it going. Keep going. And step by step, as usual. See you next time. All right, here we go. We got our next step ready. Hell of a lot of elbow grease. Anyway, yeah, we pretty much, the rougher the better on getting rhino line to stick to this. You can see I scarred it up literally everywhere. Okay, next step, we're gonna go ahead and mask off under the whole dash. It's going all the way up as far as we can get it in. Mask off all the shifter, steering column, all that good old stuff. There's a wiring harness, small wiring harness that goes to the back. I'm gonna go ahead and cover those and the door lasps. I might pop off these bumpers right after this. We're gonna go ahead and yeah, just keep going. I'll go ahead and pause this, try to get some more work done. Be happy to go ahead and hit record again, and we'll get you guys some more footage. All right, back at it. This is the stuff I was talking about being Vulcan Seal. It's amazing. It lasts forever. Some of the best stuff I've ever used. Highly recommended. And here you go. Got a fresh tube. We're going to go ahead and hit these edges. And hit these edges. And nice and strong. Don't be afraid to just saturate it, man. You want it sealed and to last for a really long time. I said, this is the way to go. Here we go. I know this is a bit of a project, honestly. Finger wipe. And yeah, you just keep going. Like I said, if you put it on nice and thick, it'll look good, it'll look right, and it'll seal the way it should. Factory sealants, you can see them still, just slight bits and pieces. But there ain't much left, because honestly, I took a lot of it out. A lot. Here we go. Alright. Well, there's that side. Quick show how we operate our Vulcan Seal, and I'm gonna go ahead and pause this and get back at it. Alright, back to it. Here we go. We just got everything masked off. Ready for the rhino line. Everything's scuffed up, masked off. Everything that's left exposed is getting rhino lined. We got our Vulcan Seal on the edges. Cocked in. Everything looking pretty decent, pretty fair, definitely doable. Everything looking pretty doable. So next step, here we go. Alright, I actually wanted to get some of this online and show you how I do it. Try to hit the edges. Want to build up your edges first, just like painting. But this stuff is actually really simple. You just cover it. Sometimes you got to go over it a couple times. But if you look, I got it running about 45, and it works pretty good. Pretty simple to work. Probably ain't gonna keep my phone out too long for this. Tired of breaking them, covering them with oil. So anyway, quick demonstration of how this stuff works. Pretty simple. And this is called raptor lining. I actually love the way this stuff works, the way it coats. Pretty much this is about the same stuff I use every single time. It doesn't let me down, it works well, and you know, for being a rookie at paint, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can use this stuff and not break my phone. We'll get back to this in a minute, gentlemen. Alright, now we got some good stuff. Here is our rhino line job. You see, not too bad. It does look pretty fair, pretty decent. Turned out pretty damn good. So after this, we're going to be doing body and exterior paint and all that. And of course, once this is all cured and dry, we're going to go ahead and remask off. We got some fine little points we're going to touch. Really thin areas. Jeep's going to be red. And like I said, we got some body work and cutting into some stuff before we get going on all that. But here you go. It's finished product of Rhino Line 101. If you ever have any questions about any of this stuff too, I don't mind answering. I'm pretty decent at get back emails here for you guys. But there you go. On to the next.